What's happening, everyone? My name is Adrian and welcome back to What the Pun. Today I have a very special guest. You may recognize her from other YouTube videos featuring her Porsche 911 Turbo S. How you doing, fam?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on your channel.
Thank you very much and welcome to What the Pun today, fam. And today we're not going to be talking about your Turbo S, sadly, as much as I like to. But today we're going to talk about your ownership experience with your Golf GTI. Is that okay?
That's absolutely fine.
Cool. And sticking with my recent video content topic with the Golf R, so which is why we're going to start off with this series of videos with Fam's Golf. Cool. So we're going to get started right away. Let's go. Alright, so we're in Fam's Mark 7 Golf GTI, and right away I can tell it's a Golf. The interior is not too much different from my Mark 6, to be honest. There's a few small upgrades, but you can tell right away it's a Golf. Everything's where it should be. And Fam, so in terms of like your Golf ownership experience, have you owned any prior to this?
So I haven't had a Golf before. I've had a VW Polo.
Okay.
Which was mainly for my nannies that I used to have kids when they were growing up, which was easily managed and was low insurance and whatnot. Okay. So this is my first official Golf GTI.
Oh, welcome to the Golf ownership club.
Thank you very much.
And how many years have you've owned this now?
So I got this new in 2016. 2016,
okay, cool.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've got my own nice little niche number plate, which is a VW GG, which I'm not going to say the number. Foxtrot Alpha Mike.
So, like, when you was shopping around for this car, were there any other cars that you was looking around for? Was it straight away you had to get a Golf, or was you looking at anything else at the time?
So at the time we were looking at a Cayenne, but again I wanted something small, so Cayenne's not exactly that small, or a Macan was another option we had, but again the seats at the back weren't as spacious as you thought they would be.
Oh, okay.
Which was quite surprising. And then the alternative was a Panamera.
That's huge.
But that's very long, so that defeated the object of buying a small car. So those were the things that we lined up in terms of having a look whether we want to get something different.
Okay.
But then, as we were still holding on to the Polo we had, we thought let's just stick with the VW.
Okay.
And then decided just to go ahead with this one.
So what helped you decide that it had to be this Golf GTI?
Because it had the performance package on it.
Okay.
And you know me, I'm a bit of a petrol head and speedy.
Oh yeah, we've definitely seen in the other YouTube videos out there with you.
So I definitely wanted something that's reliable and will respond to my response of pressing the accelerator, which it does nicely.
Coming to the topic, because you just mentioned the reliability.
Yeah.
So you had this since 2016.
Correct.
And any major problems since ownership of this? Like, what have you had any big problems in terms of having to get this fixed, or has it broken down on you?
Touch wood. Definitely not. This has been absolutely fantastic and reliable from day one. I've never had to take it into the showroom for any major issues.
Oh wow.
So it's been very, very, very reliable in terms of its maintenance.
Okay, so it's just basically like, going in, just your normal services and your normal like consumables, I'd say, like getting your tyres and brakes done, sort of thing.
And oil change, nothing major at all.
Oh wow.
So the only little tiny thing we had was an issue with the electronics in terms of the CarPlay stopped working for a bit, but there was no issue with VW for that, which they rectified. It took them 5 days, but they rectified it in the end. Other than that, nothing major at all.
Oh, amazing. I mean, in terms of, you've had this car for 4 years. What would you say it's been like owning a Golf GTI? I mean, would you go for another Golf GTI at some point? Has it been a fun journey? Has there been ups and downs? I mean, do you love it as much as since you've had it from day one?
to be fair, I've grown to love it even more over the years because it's so responsive in every way that I need it to be. I couldn't complain about anything of it. The seats are absolutely comfortable, amazingly comfortable. The drive is great. As you can see, the only thing I did do is change the tyres. I went for Michelin tyres instead of the Pirellis.
Okay.
Doesn't skip around as much, gives you more grip on the ground. But yeah, other than that, no, I don't think I would even change it for the new one, to be fair with you. Because I'm not liking the body looks on that.
Oh, I mean, in regards to the new one, I mean, there's so many like cool features added on, but I think that some of the bits do let it down quite a lot.
Yeah, I think the quality build's gone really down on VW on the new version of the Mark 8, which is disappointing really, because if it was as good as this one, then I wouldn't think about it twice. I would definitely go for the Mark 8, but having a look at it in flesh, it doesn't appeal to me as much because I don't like the wheels.
Oh
really
yes,
honest.
I can totally agree with you.
Really honest on that one.
Like
just like some UFO spaceship just been landing and they've just gone and attached it to the body. And the other thing is the plastic they've used on the exterior. It looks just dead cheap. You know, there's no wow in the car at all at the moment. In my personal opinion, it looks like a Tiguan that's been squashed and been splattered. And they've made it into a Golf GTI Mark 8, which is quite disappointing really.
Oh, that is quite sad.
Yeah, so like the plastic inside the actual interior just looks dead cheap. Has no, just doesn't have no,
wow
factor at all on it. So yeah, I don't know if I would change it.
Because usually you'd go for a Golf because you expect the quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
You expect that to be the quality and
plus on the negative side of things, it's a bit heavier as well.
Oh yes,
and
it's quite a fair bit heavier, and I think it's because they added so much to it.
It's not great either. Is that correct?
Yeah, because I believe on paper the MPG on the new ones are slightly not as good compared to their predecessors, basically.
So would you want to change it, really? On that note? Really?
Well, answer in the comment box down below, please. Anyways, so, I mean, having both seen a lot of reviews of the Mark 8 GTI, obviously not too keen on the quality, and buying one at the moment seems like a no-no until probably maybe if you seen one in person and had a better look and drive and feel of it. But having seen some of the Golf R footage, do you feel like that would change your mind a bit more? Because the Mark 8 R does seem like they're presenting it as a bit more of a luxurious version. Like maybe the quality is better on that. Possibly. Who
knows? Certainly when we see it in flesh, we'll know whether it is. But the infotainment system again on the new ones, it's just not right level to the eye, to be fair, and it's quite slanted as well. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I mean, I can see why they did it, because they raised it up, and that's kind of like closer to your eye level in terms of where you'd be looking at on the road, because a lot of functions and features you actually have to change on the touchscreen as opposed to pressing a button on the car. So I can see why they did that, just so your eyes are on the road whilst you're changing your driving modes as well.
And I don't know if you've noticed, but the new GTI, they've gone mental with the red stitching. Honestly, it's like they've seen a mad cow somewhere and they just thought, let's just go red everywhere.
Yeah, red stitching.
It's way too
and
much.
Red lights.
The red button to start and stop. It's just way too much red going on.
I mean, when it's all red, you kind of feel like, am I already in sports mode?
At the moment, no, we're in drive mode.
But yeah, like the car's constantly like in red mode, which kind of gives you the impression that your car's already in sports mode. But in the topic, in regards to sports modes,
You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Let's go then.
Oh yeah, it does. It is a bit lively. Oh!
Potholes.
It is a bit more livelier in sports mode for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what I miss about a front wheel drive car. You do actually feel how it just goes in and handles so well.
So precise.
Yeah. I mean, with my Golf R, I do love my Golf R, but I just feel like it is quite heavy when I'm going into turns, and I just miss the feeling of how I can kind of just rock it around tight bends and corners. Oh yes. we're in race sports mode with Fam the racing driver.
Hold tight. You can actually hear the exhaust as well.
Oh yeah. Gosh, it does like change the dynamics of the car so much when it's in sports mode.
You can see it, you can actually feel it, physically feel it when you're actually driving.
Definitely.
It feels heavier on the drive mode as to when it's in sports mode. It just takes off without thinking twice.
That's the thing. That's why people buy a Golf or Golf GTIs, because when you need it to cruise around town, go out to get your shopping and drive sensibly, it is a civilized car.
Absolutely, and you can also see on the dash, if you can notice, that we're in normal eco mode. So it shows you what mile per gallon you're actually doing as well, or how much you're getting out of it. So at the moment, as you see, I've done 93 out of 100 since start. That obviously went to sports. I don't say the word sports mode, and it's now calmed down.
Then yeah, pretty. You pretty much know what you're getting. When you get in Golf, it's pretty much.
It's all summed up for you.
Yeah, exactly.
As I said, it's been one of the most reliable cars I've owned. And I don't think I would want to change it until something I would say is, wow, that's definitely a nice small car to run around in town with.
I mean, at the moment, with the Mark 8, how it's presented, and Mark 8 Golf GTI and R, I just don't see enough. I mean, the tech is all cool. It does assist with your day-to-day driving experience, especially if you're going on the motorway. The cruise control, the radar cruise control, and the lane assist kind of thing. That's all cool, but I don't see the performance upgrade enough to justify going ahead with one, especially when the interior quality is not as nice.
Correct, yeah. I agree with that.
But maybe until they make a Gen 2 with more upgrades then maybe.
Yeah, true, very true.
Okay, cool. So that's it for this week. Just want to thank Fam for joining me this week and inviting me to your Mark 7 Golf GTI.
Pleasure, no problem at all. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. So, if you're enjoying the content, please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and notification button, and please be kind and also like the video too. So, just to let you know, this is part 1 of a series of videos I'll be doing with other drivers, so keep an eye out everyone, okay? So, take care, love you lots, bye bye.
It's what the pun!